I've taken it in. I've sat back. I've digested it. I did a reaction on YouTube, initial reaction on YouTube. You can go check that out. But I've thought about everything, and I'm ready to get my thoughts to y'all, TikTok. Here we go. I've been saying this, and I will say it again. It's just crazy how sports work. It's crazy how ironic sports can be. And it's crazy just the irony in sports. And it's crazy how all the headlines and all the storylines write themselves. What I mean by that is when the Falcons first moved on from Desmond Ridder and first fired Arthur Smith, and we knew we're getting a new QB1, who were the two names tied mostly and most heavily put in the conversation with the Atlanta Falcons? It was Justin Fields, who obviously started this game, and it was Kirk Cousins, who did that yesterday. Going into the game, I felt like, and I'm sure all my other Falcons fans out there felt like, if we didn't get anything else, we were going to get solid quarterback play. Not 16 for 26, 155 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions, 2 costly interceptions. We at least felt like we were going to get solid quarterback play. Decent quarterback play from a veteran quarterback who's been there, done that, despite not playing in the preseason. However, Big Kirko, Perk Thuggins, sold the game. I'm not sure what Kirk Cousins was thinking or doing on those 2 interceptions. You can absolutely not throw those passes that he threw. Was he being pressured? Yes. We'll get into that more in just a minute. Was he under pressure all day? Yes. Was he getting any help from his O-line, specifically Caleb McGarry? No, absolutely not. But you cannot force the throws that Kirk Cousins forced. You cannot do that. And he's a veteran QB. He knows that he cannot make those throws. He cannot do that. He sold us the game. Him along with this man right here, Caleb McGarry. Caleb McGarry, this man over here, TJ Watt, he ate your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even if you thought about having dessert yesterday, he ate that too. TJ Watt is an all-pro player. I get that. Not just, Caleb McGarry isn't the only right tackle in the league, isn't the only offensive lineman in the league that is going to struggle and that has struggled against TJ Watt. I completely understand that. But yesterday, there were too many times where this resulted in this and this. Now, you'll see it only says Kirk Cousins was sacked 2 times for 18 yards. But there was constant pressure on Kirk Cousins throughout the entirety of the game, besides maybe 1 or 2 drives. And that is what really got Kirk Cousins out of his groove, got him out of his rhythm that he may have had early on in the game. He really, truly never really even established a rhythm. But the other thing was, this team looked rusty. Now, I'll say this. Let me backtrack. This offense looked rusty. The defense only allowing 6 field goals, less than 20 points, didn't give up a touchdown. They look good. They look like they were in midseason form. Now, this Steelers offense that was ran by Justin Fields, who was starting at quarterback because Russell Wilson injured his calf and he couldn't play. This offense wasn't nothing special. No shade, just truth. Former Atlanta Falcons head coach Arthur Smith. But this offense wasn't nothing crazy. But the defense did what they were supposed to do. Gave the Falcons offense chance after chance after chance after chance after chance. Falcons offense couldn't do nothing with it. Why? Because they looked rusty. Because they looked like a team that had a lot of new pieces that hadn't played together before. They looked like a team that had not played in the preseason. And Zach Robinson's game plan, very vanilla. Not very good. They ran like 2 running plays the whole day. And then I got this stat for you as well. I don't know if this is part of Zach Robinson's offense. It probably is, because I do know, and if you don't know, Reed Morris, obviously the Falcons head coach, came over from Los Angeles. He was the Rams defensive coordinator the past couple of years, won a Super Bowl with them in 2021. He brought Zach Robinson over to be the offensive coordinator here for the Falcons. Zach Robinson was with the Rams as well, was working under Sean McVay. And towards the end of last season, the Rams were running a lot of pistol sets. So maybe that's why they were doing this, running so many sets out of the pistol. But you see here, Cousins had never taken more than 10 snaps out of the pistol set in a game before until yesterday. Why were they doing it so many times? Not sure. But the game plan was very vanilla. Zach Robinson, you got to get that together, my friend. I don't know if he had a vanilla game plan because he was protecting Kirk Cousins, because maybe Kirk Cousins isn't healthy, but that doesn't make sense because the whole offseason, Zach Robinson, Raheem Morris, the whole Falcons coaching staff has been telling us that Kirk Cousins has been healthy, that he's done everything that they've asked him to do. And they were just holding him out of the preseason because of a precaution, just precautionary reasons. Well, if that's the case, then why did it look like the game plan was so vanilla? Why was the game plan so vanilla? Is it because Zach Robinson's not a good OC? Or is it because they were protecting Kirk Cousins for some reason? Was he trying to ease Kirk Cousins back into the mix, into live football? I don't know. But whatever happened, whatever the reason was, we got to get that corrected, because we cannot have that basic of an offensive game plan going into next week against Philly. We got to get this together. And we definitely can't have this again. Only 19 passing yards in the second half, the fewest in the second half in his NFL career. Crazy. Absolutely cannot have that again. Now, again, going back to the Falcons defense, they did a very good job against this man right here, Justin Fields. He didn't get a lot going. Arthur Smith did keep the game plan speaking of vanilla, he kept the game plan very vanilla for him. Didn't give him too much on his plate. Kept it simple, kept it real basic. But the Falcons got stops against him when they needed to. Of course, he made some things happen with his legs, but again, the Falcons defense allowed 18 points, didn't allow a touchdown. Falcons offense sold that game. Falcons were supposed to win that game. Whenever a team allows fewer than 20 points, doesn't give up a touchdown, you're supposed to win that game. And if you don't, it's because of the offense. One of the good takeaways, again, going to the defense, this man right here, Grady Jarrett, looked like the Grady Jarrett of old. Really, he never went anywhere. Just when, obviously, he had the torn ACL, but he looks amazing coming off the torn ACL. A sack and a half, believe 2 tackles for loss. Grady Jarrett looks in mid-season form. He looks like he's in mid-season form. He's looking like prime Grady. At the end of the day, I'm not panicking. I do think there will be a substantial jump and there will be substantial improvement from week 1 to week 2. But Falcons got a week to get it together against Philly because, look, we just talked about that Steelers offense. They really only had George Pickens out there as far as receivers go. Going into Philly, you got a very good running back in Saquon Barkley who just balled out. You got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, and Dallas Goedert. Saquon did some receiving out of the backfield as well. He caught that touchdown last week. They got their hands full, this defense does. And look, I'm not expecting them to hold this Philly team to 18 points and no touchdowns. I'm not expecting the Falcons defense to hold this Philly team to 6 field goals. I'm not expecting that. And Falcons fans, if you're expecting that, don't. The Falcons offense is going to have to step up, and they're going to have to make plays, and they're going to have to score touchdowns, because if they don't, this could end up being a blowout a week from tonight. But it's not time to panic. Again, I think there was a lot of rust involved. They didn't play in the preseason. Kirk Cousins, it was his first game since, 7, 8, 9 months, however long it's been. There was rust involved with him. They're still getting accustomed to each other. Kirk, Drake London, and the rest of the offense. Kyle Pitts, everybody. Zach Robinson, obviously, is a new OC. He's got to learn how to make adjustments on the fly. So there's a lot of things that can be improved and I think will be improved upon. So let's not call for Michael Penix yet. Let's not call to fire Raheem Morris or anything like that yet. It's not time to panic, but it is going to be a tough game. The Falcons have a lot of work to do, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But let me know what y'all think. Like this video. Let me know if y'all want any other reactions, any other breakdowns. Make sure you follow my YouTube. It's Dylan Mathews. You can check out the profile. It's linked to my profile as well.